All right, let's prove the law of sines. So the law of sines, as you know, is the following. Sine of angle A divided by A, which equals sine of angle B divided by B, which equals sine of angle C divided by side C. So when you're looking at this, we have to know that we use the law of sines for triangles that are not right triangles. So we're just going to draw any old triangle. We don't know any of the angle measurements. And we're going to label the sides A, B, and C. And then we're going to label the sides across from them A, B, and C. So what do? We have to cut this up to make something that we can use. So to prove the law of sines, we need to use trig ratios. But we can't use trig ratios until you have a right triangle. So what I'm going to do is draw in an altitude. Now you can draw it connecting any of the vertices, but I'm just going to draw it connecting point B to its opposite side, AC. So right now you have just cut this up into two separate triangles. I have this like blue triangle and this red triangle. So let's start with a red triangle. We're going to use sine. Let's first label the altitude the height. So h is going to be our altitude. So using the height, and obviously we have to do law of sines, so we probably should use the trig ratio sine. We're going to take the sine of each of these triangles. We have the blue triangle and the red triangle. So we have two angles here that are across from the side we drew in. So we're going to take the sine of angle A and the sine of angle C. If we take the sine of angle A, that's opposite over hypotenuse, that would give me h divided by c. The sine of C gives me h divided by hypotenuse, so height, or h, divided by a hypotenuse, which is A. But h is not in the law of sines. So in order to eliminate the h, we have to solve each equation for h and then set them equal to each other using substitution. Because what you've just done is you pretty much just wrote a system. So let's solve them both for h. I can multiply the first one by c and the second one by a. So that gives me c multiplied by sine of a equals h, and a multiplied by sine of c equals h. If I set them equal to each other, c multiplied by sine of a equals a multiplied by sine of c. Well, I have to get it to look like a proportion. So here you can see that we don't have angle B or side B, and that's okay. We can just prove these two, because you'd go through the same process to prove any of the other ratios and proportions. So here I can divide both of these by a and c. If I divide by the coefficients a and c, the c's cancel and the a's cancel, therefore leaving sine of angle A divided by A equals sine of angle C divided by C. And you have just proven the law of sines.